This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Wait for Casella standing by, caller 9-844-999. Ola will play profile this coming up in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, spicy Skittles are now a thing.
Saw Marshawn doing that promo the other day. He was going around to an old folks' home on a golf court and handing people spicy Skittles.
I'm not terribly surprised.
No.
They're called Skittles Sweet Heat and come in 5 flavors. Sizzling strawberry, fiery watermelon, flamin' orange, lemon spark, and blazing mango.
Why does it sound like a new version of the Spice Girls?
Mm-hmm. It was one of those. I watched the Marshawn things. It's Marshawn, and when the people were eating it, it seemed to take a little while for it to kick in.
All right,
it wasn't right away, so it was a real slow heat, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah."
Were they uncomfortable or were they happy with it?
They looked like they could handle it. It looked manageable, but when it came on, you could see the difference. And now they're like, "Oh yeah, all right, here comes the heat."
Couldn't see the tears in their eyes.
I just don't like spicy in my candy.
I'm with you.
But I know, like in Mexico, that's a huge thing, like putting chili or having like spicy chocolate.
I think the Atomic Fireball was the one I always liked. But other than that, you're right. I never was into cinnamon things, but that's what the Atomic Fireball is.
Yeah, now they got that like spicy ice cream coming out.
Spicy cream.
Spicy cream.
That's just what your backside needs. Spicy cream.
Somebody in Gainesville, Florida, aggressively honked at 4 cop cars and a fire truck that were blocking traffic.
Jesus, man.
So they searched his car and found guns, $10,000 in cash, and a bunch of coke.
I'm surprised you. Well,
shocking.
Yeah, I was wondering where he got the 10 grand, but now I know.
I feel like that just happens every week. Somebody just basically rats themselves out. They might as well just put themselves in the cell.
And the thing is, obviously, everyone was already busy. If you could just wait, they're not interested in you. Then you blow your horn, you got all that crap in the car.
I'd bet money he was on some of the coke that he had in the car.
You think?
Yeah, right. I mean, all you had to do was turn around and go a different direction.
Right.
And it says he aggressively.
No, not with all these drugs in my car, Ted. I'm going to honk at the car.
Right. Show some patience and you're good to go.
Right. He honked enough that he pissed off the firemen and the police. They were like, all right.
Sometimes natural selection just works out.
Yeah.
It does.
Can't disagree with you there. According to a new survey, your brain may peak when you're 13 years old.
Oh man, that is not good at all.
Researchers think that when you stop creating new cells in your hippocampus, which is a part of your brain associated with memory, up until now, experts thought that you kept creating new cells even as an adult.
I think we just keep killing them.
Yeah, that
I know
could be
I
it too.
The war on brain cells.
If my brain was at its best at 13, then apparently masturbation is the thing to do. All right, I mean, I don't know.
That's when you were your most intelligent.
Right. At 13 years old, that's about the only thing I did.
That's your show brilliance.
Because you were opening up like a Sears catalog and looking at the bra section and stuff, man. I mean, you had to be creative.
And those are the big granny bras, man. It wasn't even sexy.
Strapped like 5 inches long on it.
A new study found the most expensive city in the U.S. for raising a family.
Somewhere in Connecticut?
New York City.
Not working on it.
Jed?
Let's say Boston.
Yeah, I'm not working on it.
San Jose.
Actually, it does say San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Now we're just setting people up, huh?
Pretty much.
All right.
It's the one little laugh I get a day, Ted.
Oh. Thanks, buddy.
I'm in here all by myself.
I see.
I get all these callers before you guys do. That's what I get.
Filter out the bad ones.
Moving on. A couple in Canada recently had their foster kids taken away because they wouldn't tell them that the Easter Bunny was real.
That seems a bit extreme. What if they were Jewish?
Right. Now a judge has ruled that their rights were violated, and I was thinking the exact same thing, Miles. At what point does that move into...
Who cares?
Right.
They're foster kids, man. Like, no offense. Don't worry about what they think of the freaking Easter Bunny.
Yeah, they have bigger fish to fry.
Right. Like now their life is bad.
Like staying in a home that's stable.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you were, like, in grade school, did you ever have that thing where you'd, like, go help out, like, the littler kids? So, like, one time we were, like, helping them out with some Easter thing, right?
Okay.
We were like, yeah, we're friends with the Easter Bunny, blah, blah, blah. So we thought it would be funny to just kind of throw candy up, like, behind our backs. They couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then it started raining candy on these little kids' heads.
Uh-oh.
And it was like, maybe we shouldn't just be doing this. Right?
Rock candy. A divorced couple in Pittsburgh is fighting it out in court because one of them wants their 17-year-old son to stop playing football. And the mom is the one who wants him to keep playing. The dad says it's too dangerous because their son already had 3 concussions.
Jeez, that's not good.
No.
That's too much. Dad's right.
Yeah. You're not going to be in the NFL. I know you like to play it. You're done.
Not only that, but there might have to become a point, and I hate to say this, where the school system themselves need to step in and they need to mandate that on their own so that he doesn't practice the next week. He doesn't play the following Friday night.
Right.
You know, I mean, the NFL has all this protocol in high schools. That's just not.
Well,
maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they put all this in, and I have no idea. I've just never heard of it.
That's what the best technology money can buy, too.
Have
you seen the padding that schools have these days? It's not the absorbent stuff that they have in the NFL either.
Most of the time, to be honest with you, you just don't bring it up unless it's blatant. Unless you get up off the ground and you're walking sideways and someone can see it, you just don't bring it up.
Right. According to a new survey, 44% of working Americans are chronically underslept because of their job.
Yeah, we call that life.
The top 5 things that keep us up are long hours, obsessing over work issue, problems with a coworker, worrying you'll get fired, and having a nightmare of a boss.
No tantric masturbation?
No.
Okay.
My Viagra lasted more than 4 hours.
I just have nightmares that I missed a curse word.
Yeah, I thought it just meant nightmares in general.
No.
What do you mean you miss it? You're afraid that you cuss on the air and you...
That somebody does, yeah, and I miss it.
Okay.
Oh, I was just dropping an F-bomb now.
Right. You dare us?
I mean, it has to go through 2 filters, so I'm confident. But
Robert just gave me a look that suggests maybe you shouldn't do that.
That's a bad idea right
I will
there.
stab you in the
We
eye
had
with a pen.
we had a coworker who had never done that before just come in one time. We're like, go ahead, you can just do it. It's so hard for her to just get ramped up. Like, okay, I'm going to say it.
Right.
I'm going to say the F word. And then she did it.
Oh, it was so
awesome.
good.
Liberating
Awesome.
moment.
You could just see how good it felt.
And then what we did was not hit dump. No, we hit dump.
Yeah, we hit dump.
She doesn't work here anymore.
That's right.
The average American will spend $448 on drunk shopping this year, according to
because
a
they're online.
new study.
You know what, man? That number's a lot lower than I would expect.
That same coworker that we were talking about, I guarantee that she's doing this right now. I guarantee she spent more than that already.
They used to be Q.
Well, it's got to be a her, Mike.
They used to be QVC's.
Because Miles called her she.
QVC's lifeline, man. For a while, they sold a ton of stuff on TV to people who were home, didn't want to move, and were hammered, man.
Infomercials at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
The only time you feel you need anything that you saw on TV is when you're drunk or high.
I can use that.
I could use a magic bullet.
Oh, you're kidding me. 1995.
Well, it's also just so easy now.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Is
Push
it
a
going to be
button.
3 easy payments? No, it's just 1995.
I'll give you free payments in 1995 for ShamWow.
4 to 6 weeks.
A bowling team in Missouri was driving to a big tournament on Saturday night when their car broke down, so they abandoned it in the middle of the road to run to the bowling alley. The cops wound up towing it, and the driver got a citation for impeding the flow of traffic.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not
Because you left your car in the middle of the
road.
road.
Car out in the middle of the
Well,
road.
it tells you how important the bowling was.
Yeah, right.
Where was that at?
It was in Missouri.
I love their bowling.
Yeah.
A surgeon in Scotland walked 8 miles through the snow the other day so a cancer patient's surgery wouldn't get delayed.
That's
No,
amazing.
that's just what he told him.
That's awesome.
I want
Uphill.
8 miles through the snow. Give me a
Being
surgery.
being that women are being celebrated, it should be noted that the doctor was a female.
Yes.
They say 8 miles is a good walk, period, much less in the snow.
Echo users are writing in complaints after hearing something weird coming out of their Alexa devices.
What was that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines coming up 1 hour from now. But first, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Caleb. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola! All right, Caleb, you understand how this here game is played.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. For the purposes of this story, understand that I'm asking about the driver of the vehicle, all right? The driver of the vehicle.
Okay.
And in this case, a driver for a Texas private security company, he was fired after an inmate escaped while the driver slept at the Queen Casino Hotel in East St. Louis, Illinois. Now, the driver was transporting 2 men from Oklahoma to Texas, but he drove several hundred miles out of the way to visit Illinois. The driver and the 2 inmates, they checked into a hotel around 10 p.m. on Sunday. The driver woke up less than an hour later to find the inmate gone. Now, it's still unclear why the driver traveled all the way to East St. Louis. He told police that he was scheduled to meet a supervisor in the area, but authorities are still investigating those claims. I think we know what that means. Now, a spokesman for the East St. Louis Police Department, they said officers are searching for the missing inmate, identified, blah, blah, blah. But the driver, keep in mind, he didn't call the cops for a few hours after discovering that the guy was missing. He said he was looking for the suspect himself. Security cameras at the hotel, they did catch the guy walking into the parking lot around 1:30 in the morning. He stole a cell phone and some clothing from a transport van, walked in the direction of the East Bridge, and has disappeared into the crowd. So the driver also informed police that the inmate stole, $5,200 in cash and that he had a satchel. Police are investigating why the driver had such a large sum with him. This guy is shady all the way around, but do you believe that this driver is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Well, let's go to the resident racist, Ted.
It's not how we're saying it, dude. It's not how we're saying that. Racial consultant.
Okay.
All right, so he drives him out of the way.
He goes he's going from Oklahoma to Texas. He himself chooses to drive several hundred miles out of the way to go to a casino in East St. Louis. He wants to get some gambling in.
And this is his normal job, driving...
I believe it is. I believe this is what he does, right?
Driving inmates around. I don't know. I mean, East St. Louis, of course, screams black to me.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I have a hard time picturing a black dude doing this job. It seems like a white guy would be driving prisoners around. And he stopped at a casino.
Happy about it. Yeah,
do we know what game he liked at the casino?
I don't know, but he had $5,200.
Well, if he's playing blackjack, I have one idea.
I follow where you're going, man. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going white, I think.
I'll go with Ted White.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Okay. We're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Profile this takes us to between Oklahoma and Texas. Actually, Profile this takes us to East St. Louis, Missouri.
That's
the
correct.
security driver was supposed to transport an inmate between Oklahoma and Texas. Somehow he decided to take a little side trip, a few hundred miles worth, and he ended up outside of a casino in East St. Louis, Missouri, and went in to gamble. But then the inmate decided to take some money, I guess to the tune of, a few $1,000?
$5,200.
$5,200, and he just walked the hell off. I don't think they found him yet. But the driver is the question of whether he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian.
And Caleb, in the end, you went white. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You like it white in the end.
Oh, sorry. Black.
Well, he went to East St. Louis.
East St. Louis.
His destination was East. Like, if he could drive anywhere.
He picked East St. Louis. He was comfortable enough to go to East St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then go into a casino and leave the truck outside.
In East St. Louis.
In East St. Louis.
He's comfortable doing it.
Right.
That's all.
He knows someone there. Not even close.
Like, anybody could do it, but he was comfortable doing it.
Now for all the TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Charlize Theron.
Keep talking.
Yeah. By the way, I feel like I should mention she is South African.
Yes.
I only mentioned that because I recently told somebody. It seemed to, I don't think they knew that. And they were like, no. And I was like, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. She sure is. We share some African heritage.
Oh, I guess he wasn't working on the Charlize Theron story.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's in a new movie about about medical marijuana, which is a great, funny subject, as you could tell as I laugh. She's doing an interview, and they're asking, and basically the question is like, did you ever smoke marijuana, this and that? So she talks about she used to smoke it and then kind of stopped, and then she has issues sleeping. So where the story picks up, she's just kind of mentioning how like her and her mom took some sleeping pills, but they thought about getting into the medical marijuana so they could help sleep.
I was saying to her, maybe we should figure out a way to, try some, like a sleeping strain, like something that could help us with sleep. And she's like, yes. And I really thought I would be the responsible one to have to go and get that.
Yeah.
And last week she showed up at my house, literally like drove in her little tennis outfit and brought me a little container and just left it on my kitchen table. And she was like, So I got some blueberry covered chocolate ones. And she's like, but if you want it faster acting, you should go for the mint, because those you suck, and it's like, it just works faster. And I assumed, because she was in the tennis outfit, that she had scored with one young tennis friend. She plays tennis with these like really cool young girls. And so last night we were on our way to the premiere, actually, and I said, it's funny, I was thinking about, like, who is this person at the tennis club that you're getting the marijuana from? And she goes, I went to the store by myself.
Oh, really?
Now, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I was talking to my mom, and she'd probably give me the same answer. Like, I'm a grown-up. Like, I can go to the weed store.
I know what they have. I know my favorite brands. You'd be surprised. It seems that in states where it's been established, that is a very common and good thing. People are getting off medications where instead of taking like 5 or 6 medications, or maybe taking a couple of the important ones, but a lot of that stuff, like, they don't need to take a sleeping pill anymore. Or
we get it.
Yeah.
Big Pharma is the one who's like, come on, man, don't do that.
If you want to watch that full interview, it's up the Men's Room Facebook page. I recommend it. And her talking about weed was pretty funny, too. She was just like, man, what'd she say? I had a great, 8-year run. And then I just found myself staring at the icebox, or the refrigerator for, staring at the icebox.
Well, it's okay.
For like hours on
back.
Glad she's back in the club.
I said days ago I don't talk about The Bachelor a lot. That was a lie, folks.
Oh, my God.
It's pretty much all I'm talking about, all right? I'm obsessed with it. Everybody knows it. So, actually, right, the main thing is The Bachelor is just mean. And, it's getting more and more evil. So you heard the big hoop-de-doo, whatever, about the guy dumping Becca. They're going with Lauren. His name was Ari. So now we found out that the producers track the women's menstrual cycles.
Jesus Christ.
Because they think if they catch them close to their cycle, that they will be more emotional.
They've really thought this thing through, I guess.
Happy National Women's Day.
Exactly. Yay! ABC, family television.
One producer said, quote, it helped. Because now you got someone who is emotional. All you want is emotion.
For that show, I guess they're probably not too far off kilter.
He also said, quote, when women cycle together in the house, it created a completely different vibe.
More of a unity?
How happy were they? Cool, they're all under period. This is great. Yay.
I think they were pissed. Because they want the women to be all
different. And now when they're on the same train, now they really probably just kind of agree with each other.
Stupid, selfish women.
Yeah, or they're
cycle together and ruin The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I hate to say, well, I don't know.
I hope you can sleep at night.
Yeah, you're right. That is awfully selfish.
That is very selfish. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Do you think there's one guy that came up with The Bachelor, or maybe it's a woman? Do you think there's one guy or a woman who just sits back and goes, all right, man, this is the next evil thing we'll do to mess with them?
Yes. Totally.
But people keep signing off on it. Like, look, they will let us emotionally punish them. Why the hell not? They signed off on it.
If they had a show called Finger for Fame, where you had to get up there and drop your pants and somebody put on a rubber glove and Vaseline their finger up, and, you just took it. And he'd be like, I'm doing it. I want to be in Hollywood.
Right.
Just stick your finger in my butt. They don't
My
care.
chance to win $50,000.
I mean, if they find it, if they pull out
The Bachelor.
Pull out the gold ribbon, I win, right?
The Bachelor's harsh. Seemed like a abrupt right turn we took there.
No, I'm just saying, if you want to be on television that bad, if you go to that length, then basically it's just about you being famous. So I'm sure they feel like they have those liberties. You sign your life away when you sign up for that show. I mean, you know what they do. I mean, they're not very kind to you just as a person. They treat you as an entity, as something that's not even human. But you sign up for it, and you want to sign up for it.
Right. So that is the weird thing. I agree with you on that, because they are treating them badly, but also they don't care. They want it. I will say, I saw a thing with Dr. Drew once, right? Dr. Drew Pinsky. Pinsky? Yes.
Close enough.
We'll call him Dr. Drew. So he's famous, of course, for Loveline back in the day, and then Celebrity Rehab and this and that. So I saw him on our buddy Tom Green's show, and he was just like, who's the celebrities that have the most trouble? And he was like, the reality stars from these kind of shows, because just I think I've said this before, but musicians, they can go through drug abuse and this and that, but they can fall back on, I can go into the studio and make music.
But they have an art where they can also try to find some catharsis.
Right. Same with athletes, right? They can go back to being like, all right, I'm an athlete, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. But when you're kind of famous just for because you were on a show just for being famous.
I'm a desperate whore, I can go back to that.
You don't have an art.
Yeah.
Other than being a desperate whore.
Right.
On television. But you just got to find another show, I guess.
And it also does work, right? I think there's a lot of people that start out on reality shows that end up having great careers in the thing they wanted to.
Sure.
But
like Omarosa.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking more like The Miz, or I think Cardi B originally was on like a reality show. There's so many reality shows out there about like relationships and stuff that like, right? Like I watch the Tube a lot and try to stay up on it. Even I'm like, what? Like that dude's famous from what? Like he hasn't had a hit song in 20 years. Like, yeah, dude, he's on the dating show on VH1. Like,
oh, good for him.
Yeah, guess he's still scrappy.
It's like Vanilla Ice Rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Like dude's building houses.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
But like you would have no idea. I'm like, wait, it sounds like they said Vanilla Ice, and I'm like, that is in fact Vanilla Ice.
Rolling on up to flip it. Gonna paint, gonna rip a carpet out of it. That's what really like.
So
change that kitchen out.
There's a big special coming up about O.J. Simpson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to the if he did it kind of stuff, right? So basically, they keep releasing.
You keep saying this. You keep adding that word.
I know. So when
just say he did it.
When you listen to this clip, I mean, it's insane because he's basically. It's almost like he's laughing about like, well, it's hypothetical, but you tell me if this makes you feel comfortable or uncomfortable.
The chapter 6, is called The Night in Question. And you write in the book, now picture this and keep in mind that this is
Purely
hypothetical.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me what might have happened on the night of June 12th, 1994? And let's just walk through the night.
Well, first of all, this is very difficult for me to do this. It was very difficult for me because it's hypothetical. I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel. They're going to, whatever they want to feel. In the book, the hypothetical is
Charlie pulls out.
Charlie came by and mentioned something about what was going on at her house. This guy Charlie shows up, the guy who I recently become friends with, and I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going on over there has got to stop.
You remember thinking that. You remember thinking that. It's a hypothetical situation, but as you explain it, and I remember thinking, it's got to stop.
This was not a good idea to sign him up for this interview. I don't know where our PR people are, but we got to get him out of here.
He laughs like a man who got away with murder.
He is.
He got away with murder.
Yeah. So he's confessing. Like
he just did.
That'd be like me being like, this is super. Remember, this is all hypothetical.
But I remember.
But
I won that arbitration.
Just walking through my
damn.
Walking through my life like. I remember, I guess if I had been a janitor, I would have done this. Like, man.
I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I don't know what's going on, but it's got to stop. Hypothetically. That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, and he's kind of known for having a hot temper. So why would you ever utter those words? I remember thinking it had to stop.
Because he's a murderer, Ted.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
That's why he... You know why no one else would say that? Because they didn't kill anybody.
When he admitted to taking a baseball bat to her car and all that stuff years before that, his thing was like, when the cops came, he was like, no. It's okay. I'm OJ. This is my car. This is my wife. We're having a disagreement, and I'm going to just bash the living hell out of this windshield in if I want to or not. They're like, okay, OJ.
Okay, Mr. Simpson.
See you later. Have a nice night.
Well, I mean, look, he did all this stuff, right? He is the evil person here. But, I mean, I think that's a huge part of it. He got away with beating on that woman for years.
And then he got away with killing.
And then he got away with murder, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you're right. I don't know who else would write a book that said, if I did it, but I guess a guy that confident who kept getting away with it.
I don't know anyone else who would say, I remember.
Getting his merchandise back in the hotel room was just easy. Like, of course I'm going to go in and get my stuff.
Like, I don't remember anything that did not happen to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm alone in that. Like, I don't remember that.
I wonder how he's doing in the civilian life. Haven't heard from him in a few weeks on TMZ.
He wasn't doing great in civilian life before he went to jail.
I know that. But
he killed somebody.
But when he came out, we heard from him for a couple days, and now he's just kind of gone away.
The last thing I saw was when the Buffalo Bills were at a playoff game. He went to a sports bar and took pictures with people in Vegas.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't get paid for that.
I don't know. I'm sure he still lives in Vegas.
Sure. So Ron Goldman has no idea if he made money.
Stephen Colbert is a funny man. He was recently a guest on another talk show, and he has a pretty good theory here about Mariah Carey. It should be Oliver on Carey.
There's certain people that you want, like their legacy is so huge, you don't want them to let you down.
Like, yeah, who? Like
Mariah Carey. If Mariah Carey was anything less than a human nightmare, I would be really, really disappointed. Because she gets a pass. She gets a lifetime pass.
She's allowed to be.
And she, not just allowed to be, she should be encouraged to be. It's her at her best. When the thing at New Year's, when she started complaining about not having tea. I said, I'm just going to have to be like the rest of you and not have tea. Like, we're peasants. And I was not remotely angry. It was appropriate that she spoke down to America on New Year's Eve. It's appropriate. If she ever turned up and was nice to her immediate surroundings, I'd be heartbroken.
I mean, the man is right.
No, he's 100% correct.
Yeah. Also, it sounds like peasant always sounds bad.
Sure.
But it sounds even worse coming from a British dude.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because they make it sound so much more insulting.
Yeah.
Hey,
but still friendly. Because it's not like poor people. It's like peasants.
No, we have a term for you, peasant. We still don't want to interact.
It's a bird that some people shoot. Oh, that's pheasant.
But without the
the silent H, right?
John Oliver, of course, is the host of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Bam.
Always a very funny show. So as long as we're talking about him, they put together a great montage of Maury Povich.
Are you a mistress who's in love with a married man and you want him to choose once and for all between you and his wife? If so, call The Maury Show.
Are you a woman dating a much younger man and you suspect he's using you for your money and a place to live?
Are you a woman dating a much younger man and you suspect he's cheating on you?
Is your father dating a much younger woman and you think she's cheating on him? Are you convinced your daughter's boyfriend or husband is cheating on her? Are you convinced your mother is having sex with your boyfriend or husband? Are you a man who feels it's your right to control your wife or girlfriend?
Is there a possibility of 2 or more men being the father of your child?
Is there a possibility that one of 2 brothers is the father of your child?
Are you 18 years or older and the man you believe is your father claims he is not?
Did you get pregnant from a one-night stand that was set up on a dating app? Does your child look like they belong to another race? Did another woman's husband get you pregnant? Are you a grandmother who loves wearing sexy and revealing clothes and it's driving your family crazy?
They're just...
God, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought about it towards the end of the show when they do that. But then when you hear them all together like that, you're like, this seems insane.
It is.
Like, what is going on?
The fact that people can respond to this stuff.
Does your baby look like it's from a different race? Jesus Christ. How many people would stare at their kid like, I can't tell, but starting to get suspicious?
Yeah. I don't know. God damn. I mean,
what kind of batter's in your pancakes? Call Mark.
I think it's tough. Yeah.
Do you suspect that your cook has placed his testicles in your mashed potatoes? Call Maury.
Do you think he stirred it with butter?
Do you think your neighbor has sex with his domesticated pets? Call Maury.
Are you in love with a tree and think it's cheating on you?
Call Maury.
Is that lamp in your Airbnb really a spy cam?
We don't judge.
A couple interesting stories. Both Fox and NBC are going to cut down commercials. Fox plans to reduce ad time to just 2 minutes per hour.
We can't sell them, so let's just act like we're cutting down and give you a little benefit of the doubt here. We're just going to run more promos.
NBC saying they're cutting down commercials across their network by 20%.
20%.
Right, so that would include their other stations like Telemundo.
Oh, no.
USA, MSNBC, E, and Bravo.
Does MSNBC actually have enough viewers to warrant showing commercials?
Actually, MSNBC does.
Aren't you like spending money to show your commercial to no one?
As far as cable news goes, they're always like right behind Fox.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were always like in the toilet.
No, because
the turlet.
Yeah, I feel like both of those are very extreme. One's really left extreme. Yeah. One can be kind of right extreme.
And somewhere in between, there's the news.
The rest of us.
Right. But I think that's why both those networks get such high ratings.
Oh, of course.
But Fox News is...
Tell me what I want to hear.
Undisputed champ when it comes to to cable news, man.
Yeah.
They do a great... They do their job well to get ratings.
Absolutely. They know exactly what they're doing. And they know who they're talking to. And they have focus. and that's part of it.
Yeah.
You sound like a sensei.
They have focus. They know who to talk to, comrade.
They know who they are.
Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman from Parks and Recs. They're doing a new show this summer, basically called Making It. He likes to make stuff. He's a woodworker himself. So he wants to showcase all these talented makers and reunite with my charismatic pal, Amy, to boot. Yeah, that should be a good show.
Is that her new name? Amy to boot.
She's Canadian.
Yeah, I'm Amy to boot
on the show.
Amy Poehler to boot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems about right. All right, so today we were talking about if you had to eat one burger, would it be a bald eagle,
a pet, or your friend, or somebody you don't know,
or a person you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Not a friend.
A stranger burger.
A stranger burger.
Yeah,
stranger burger. Well, ironically enough, there are some new bald eagles in D.C., and Seth Meyers was talking about them.
Wildlife experts are reportedly puzzled as to why a pair of bald eagles at the National Arboretum named Mr. President and the First Lady have not yet laid an egg this spring. Though they haven't really been getting along since Mr. President had that affair with Storky Daniels.
Seth is back, folks. Storky Daniels?
Come on.
Yeah. You should have seen how hard I was laughing when I played that for myself today. Storky Daniels. Man, he's good.
Thank you, Ted. Good stuff. We appreciate it. All right, we'll take a break and come back. We've got headlines coming up with Mike Hawk. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A woman on probation in New Mexico says her meth is from a doctor, and she's got the prescription to prove it.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, a car thief takes a stolen car to his court hearing because he just can't quit. Georgia Copper's ex-wife, after she complains he won't pick up meds for their sick kids, a 14-year-old impersonates a police officer, which the real law happens to forbid, and someone got Alexa pretty baked. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. People around the country are reporting that their Amazon Echo devices are doing something rather creepy, and it sounds like this. That's literally what it is.
That thing's laughing at them?
It started to blow up on Twitter that people's devices were randomly breaking out into what sounds like a child's laughter.
Looks like they're getting smart already.
Right? Amazon has responded to the bizarre issue by saying that they're, quote, working to fix it.
It's getting smarter.
They're going to try to make it dumber.
They're working on it.
It's laughing because it's going to kill you.
Remember, they're counting your farts.
I'm just imagining if I'm sitting there counting your farts, dude.
Oh, that microphone's open all the time, brother. They're counting everything you do. Every time that thing hears the toilet flush, they know how many times you got in the bathroom, how many times you farted, how many times you turned on an electrical switch, how many times you've done that.
What you say when you masturbate?
I just don't want to be watching a scary movie and then all of a sudden my Amazon
is watching it with you.
That's right. And she laughs at the death, too. Around the world, a New Mexico woman, we talked about this during Profile This, was on probation for not a drug violation.
Forgery.
I actually read that right. Yeah, forgery. And she's back in trouble again, and you'll never guess why. Her urine tested dirty last month, but she claims that the meth that they found in her system was prescribed by her doctor, and she even provided a bottle with the label.
So, update on that, by the way, Mike.
Oh, yes.
Because we brought it up earlier. Since that point in time, we've had a couple of nurses, and we've had a couple of people who do urinalysis say there is a 5 milligram tablet under the name of Desoxin, maybe?
Something like that.
Okay. Either way, they have, I guess they've got a prescription meth.
Listen, we understand that. I responded to one person and said, no, we understand. But
right.
They don't call it medicinal meth. They don't call oxys medicinal heroin.
No.
Right. They call them
They don't call Ritalin Coke.
She forged it and said
Now,
medicinal methamphetamine. They're like, right, that's not what you call it.
Right. Exactly.
That's why they can't figure out how can they smoke these pills like pot.
Anywho, moving on. With very little investigating, it was proven that these were forgeries, and she was once again arrested and tagged with a couple more charges.
Yeah.
Medicinal heroin.
Good times.
A man in Connecticut chose an interesting vehicle to drive to court in. The man was appearing before a judge to defend himself on car theft charges, but decided to show up to court in a stolen car.
I mean, why don't you just drive there in a big middle finger?
Right?
I ain't taking no bus.
He was charged with second-degree larceny and arrest. Now, here's the thing. The way that they found him is they actually have a security guard at the courthouse that just roams around the parking lot checking license plates.
Sure.
Which it's like, that's the stupid world that we live in, that he can actually collar people by checking license plates at the courthouse.
Yeah, because people owe money, and that's how you identify them. And it's just money. It's all about money. So when they happen to stumble upon a real crime, all they want is their money.
Right.
That's all they want. Did you pay your tabs? Did you do this? Is car registered? They want to impound your stuff. All they want is your money. So any way they can get your money. They pull you over, speeding ticket, get your money, parking ticket, money.
Okay.
It's all money.
Do you think this guy was coming there just kind of putting up his middle finger, or do you think he was actually just that stupid that he thought that he was
stupid?
I think that's how he rolls, man. He needs a ride, he takes a ride.
True enough.
Obviously, this is a pattern that he has.
Mm-hmm. In Southern California, a 14-year-old was pulled over by police and arrested on charges of impersonating an officer after he was caught launching phony investigations and pulling other cars over in his neighborhood.
You got to think this kid's got a strong dirt stash, man. He has gone through puberty early.
Yeah.
He feels confident about how he looks.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm waiting for the officer, the 14-year-old kid rolls up. It's like, bitch, get away from
When I was
my
14,
car.
I was just praying that a hair would finally grow under my arm. I think he went through puberty way earlier than most.
Right?
Yep.
He's probably like 6.5 feet tall already.
Right. He just already shot up.
At 14, how do you get all the equipment that you need in order to actually pull this off? Now, obviously, somebody caught him. You think?
Yeah.
In South California?
I mean, like, what job do you have where you can afford to buy all the accoutrements that they put on their own vehicles, man?
Did you say South California?
That's what I was just going to say. Is that like South Carolina?
It's a different state.
Yeah, okay. It's in Southern California.
All right. South Carolina.
I'm just thinking there's a guy in... Okay, it's not South California. It's
it's
Southern
not.
California.
It is, in fact,
Come
Southern
on, dude.
Brah.
Just thinking...
People in the machine right now are losing their goddamn mind.
All right. Apparently, there are 2 men alive today that are direct grandsons to President John Tyler.
That's amazing.
Our 10th president.
That is amazing. That really is. That's actually a cool story.
And are old as hell.
And you'll never know. That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Ted versus the FCC. Bad jokes. And we'll drink and toast once again with the shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. We be all about this bitch. But we shall return. Until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.